Ahead of the absolutely colossal matchup between France and the All Blacks this Friday night, I'm going to be talking you through my combined 15 between the two sides. It's a good replication of how close this game's going to be, because there's pretty much an even number of players get into a sort of an integrated 15. So I'm just going to talk you through the team. So in my front row, I've got De Groot, Marchand and Antonio. Now, if it wasn't for the injury to Cyril Bay, this would have actually been an all-French front row. But De Groot gets in there due to the fact that Wardy has, I haven't really seen him play too much, and he's certainly not the player Cyril Bay is. And De Groot does get in on his own merit. He's been improving a lot recently, I believe, especially in the sort of set piece. The All Blacks have been known for a really complete and flair game, but he's really tightened up on the set piece aspect, the scrum being the main one. Marchand is almost a complete hooker. I would put him a little bit below the likes of Marks and Ireland's Dan Sheehan, but he's a great hooker. And comparing him to Cody Taylor, I'd say he's just as good in the loose, but I'd say the work that Marchand does over the ball gets him into the number 2 jersey. Antonio, just amazing scrummager, and does have a lot of punch around the park. Comparing him to Laulala, Laulala's a very good player, but I'd say Antonio, based upon the fact that he's just so powerful, does edge it towards him. However, he does go off on the 45-50 minute mark, which could be seen as a negative side. Second row's Flamont, partner Scott Barrett. Flamont had an amazing Six Nations, and so I believe he does get in there. I mean, it's so close between him and Whitelock, but I've gone for the slightly younger, fresher, second row. I mean, Whitelock has got a great shout to be in there. What Whitelock's done across his whole career, and the experience maybe is something that I'm not paying full attention to. Scott Barrett is definitely in the second row. He's lucky to be playing in this game due to the fact that he didn't get banned for his shoulder charge. But look, it's part of rugby. I mean, there's just one thing aside from this game, quickly. When we're talking about rucks and clearing out rucks, I mean, you talk about a tucked shoulder. It happens in 9 out of 10 rucks. So Scott Barrett, was he doing something illegal in the law book? Yes, but in reality, no. But he did connect with Malcolm Marks in a vulnerable position, so we understand that. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. Back into the 15. Scott Barrett is just a brilliant player. He's thickened out quite a bit. He's got a real pack to his punch in terms of his ability to beat tacklers and go over the advantage line. Talking about getting over the advantage line, not many do it better than this back row. Dalton Papali'i gets in for me over Gross. I believe Papali'i, being the leader and the captain of the Blues, he does add a good leadership element, but also he's just a brilliant runner with the ball. He's tenacious, sort of like Ardie Savea, really aggressive, and will be vital in terms of beating the advantage line for New Zealand in attack and stopping French ball carriers in defence. Olivon at number 7, a really versatile back rower, can go up in the line out, can do a bit of everything really, can carry, tackle, jackal, he can really do it all. So he gets in there for me over Sam Cane. I know Sam Cane's a brilliant leader, etc, but I believe Olivon does a little bit more in his complete game. Ardie Savea at number 8, can't pick against him, best number 8 in the world. He is closely rivaled by Gregory Aldrit, but I did a little stats comparison in my last video, or a couple videos back, in which Ardie Savea was on the good side of a lot of these statistics, especially his meters made in contact. He's just phenomenal. Moving into the back line, Dupont and Mo'unga. I mean, this is almost a sort of a 9-10 for world rugby. Look, Dupont, France's best player, the talisman, incredible force at scrum half. He's so strong. He's got such a low centre of mass. His ability to do all of the running with the ball around such a big forward pack and not be scragged around. Dupont, one thing I would mention, his ability to kick off both feet, a box kick, is just phenomenal. I've never seen a player do it in my whole time watching rugby, and it's impossible to defend. You either block one side of the ruck and try and charge down there, sweet, you'll swap to the other foot and box kick it 40-50 metres. He's just phenomenal. Anyway, Mo'unga, a good goal kicker, a very good attacking fly half, has got a real good edge of pace to him, and he gets in for me over Jalibert. Into the centres, Moefana partners Rico Ioane. Now, Scott Barrett would have been in the centres if it wasn't for his knee injury, I believe it was. But Moefana, I believe, clears Anton Leonard-Brown. Just simply from what I've seen of Moefana in the Six Nations, nothing too exceptional, but I thought he was a solid player, and Anton Lennon-Brown hasn't had a lot of game time for the All Blacks. Rieko Ioane over Gael Fiku. Fiku's a brilliant player, but the youth and the sort of speed, pace, athleticism of Ioane gets him into the 13 jersey. Back three, this is one hell of a back three, and you can almost say this is the best back three in the world. Probably a couple South Africans will have something to say about that, considering there's no Colby, Arendse, but you'd have to go with Penno and Will Jordan on the wings. Penno and Jordan are two of the just most lethal, dangerous finishers. Give them an inch of space and they'll take a metre. Absolutely phenomenal, great pace, but it's more than pace that sets them apart from other wingers. The ability to read a defender, manipulate them, chip it over the top. They really can do it all. And then Ramos is the cherry on top of the cake at fullback. He gets in there just over Beauden Barrett for me. If this was 4 or 5 years ago, you'd be saying Beauden Barrett all day. But I think amazing player Barrett. But I just think now is the time for the youth of players like Ramos coming in, with Barrett being a sort of a few years older than Ramos. The boot of Ramos is probably something that edges it just in his favour. However, Beauden Barrett is lethal in attack. But yeah, that is my combined 15. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. As I say, I'll get back to every single comment that you leave. So yeah, it's going to be one hell of a match. This is my last video previewing the game, so I hope you've enjoyed the videos in the lead up. Check them out if you haven't seen the other two. I did a Gregory Aldry versus Adi Sarver, and then a match preview in general. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.